The following audio may contain the personal testimonials of some OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.
Well, hey, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. We're going to be doing our trilogy presentation where Corey Baker and our team of other panelists are going to be sharing some amazing stories of transformation and how they've begun to experience the full offering of OPTAVIA: healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. So I can't wait for Corey to kick things off. Corey, are you ready to get going?
I am, David. Thank you so much for the introduction. We're so glad to see everybody on the call tonight. We are excited to welcome people from all over the country. In fact, if you're on the chat, go ahead and tell us where it is that you are coming from. We are so excited to have you on with us tonight. I know that many of you are watching this live. Some of you may be catching this on a recording, but we just wanted to let you know that we are so excited to have you on tonight for an exciting 30 minutes or so that we're going to talk a little bit about who we are, what we offer, and what we can do to help you become the best person that you are trying to be. So I just want to take a second and share my screen. So give me one moment. Apologize, I'm getting this going. I'm so sorry. I had my PowerPoint here and it went away. I am so sorry. This is what happens when, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Hey, while you guys are waiting, go ahead and put in the chat message. And while Corey brings up his presentation, if you've been a coach with OPTAVIA and for any period of time, would you go into the chat feature and just type in what is it that has been the biggest benefit to you for being an OPTAVIA coach? I know for me personally, I became a coach 10 years ago, and I didn't think that I could actually find the time in my calendar to be a coach. I didn't think that I was qualified to be a coach because health was one of my biggest challenges. And when I was invited to become a coach, it really challenged me to think that I don't think I could do this. But after embracing some different perspectives from the person that invited me and seeing what the coach opportunity really was versus what it wasn't, I was able to experience a tremendous transformation of the way I thought about myself and about my health and the opportunities. So go ahead and put in your chat and I'll go ahead and take a look at that. And Corey, did you get the presentation to come back up?
I did. I'm so sorry for that. That is crazy, but you know what? That happens. That honestly is a great segue into what we're going to be talking about a little bit tonight. And that is sometimes, you know, when you are on the journey to becoming your best self, stuff happens and you got to learn how to roll with it. And we've been taught so well in how to make that happen. So we're excited, but I do have my PowerPoint. So I'm going to bring that up now. All right. Well, here we are. We have some exciting stories that we are going to share with you tonight. That really is about helping you become the best version of you, starting with being healthy. And I just want to take a minute to introduce myself a little bit, but also just take a second to welcome those of you in specific places. I know that there are many of you that are on this call tonight that are just taking a look at wondering whether OPTAVIA is something that you would like to look at for your life and for your choice. You're on this call for a reason. You're on this call because you are desiring to make some better choices. Maybe you want to lose a little weight. Maybe you want to feel better, have some more energy. Maybe there's some other reasons, but you're here because you have probably seen some results from a family member or a friend, and you're saying, hey, I want to see if this is a good fit for me. I know there's probably some of you that are maybe on pause clients that are watching this. You may have jumped on program for a little while, and then for whatever reason, life happened. And that's kind of a theme for what we're going to talk about tonight, is that sometimes life happens. Sometimes your PowerPoint doesn't work. Sometimes things happen and people get sick and stress gets in the way. And a lot of times our default mechanism when we go through difficult seasons in life is to turn to food, to some way to cope with what we're dealing with. And that honestly is so much of my story. And you see this guy on the left in this picture there who at the time of this, when I started the program about 5 years ago, I was a minister and was given so much of my life and help to a lot of other people. And I wasn't doing very well at taking care of myself. And if I'm being honest, I wasn't doing the best at taking care of my family either. I was giving the best parts of myself away and coming home and feeling exhausted, feeling overwhelmed, and I wasn't a very good dad. And I made a decision about 5 years ago to change. And that happened quickly. And that picture that you see on the right is me down about 25 pounds, signing up for a 5K, and really honestly beginning the process of living out the rest of my days and becoming the best version of me. You see, this is my family, and I wanted to put them here because this is also a huge part of our story. And as you'll see, intertwined in my health journey has been my coaching journey. And those two things really go hand in hand with each other. My family, we live in Kentucky, but we are frequent Disney World members. We go there all of the time because it's my kids' favorite place in the world, and we get to have some amazing family time. And I love this picture on the right because it encompasses so much of my story and who I am and what we try to do every day to help people create. You got this person riding a roller coaster in the front that is going through a ride, scared and afraid and unsure of what is around the next turn. You know, one thing you're going to see tonight through these calls is that there are twists and there are turns and there are unexpected things that happen in our life. And one thing that I know is I understand that that's going to be the case. I understand that there's going to be moments. I will tell you this, 5 years ago, my PowerPoint didn't work. I would have freaked out. Tonight, it is what it is. You know what? Because life is going to move on. And tonight, I want you to know that you are not looking at a whole bunch of people that are perfect. You are not sitting on a call with a bunch of people that have everything all figured out. You're sitting on a call with a bunch of people just like you who bleed red and breathe oxygen and deal with tragedy and have stress and have insecurities and just want to know if there's something out there for us. And I want to tell you that there is. So I've made a decision to live my life with my hands up, to live my life with reckless abandon and say, you know what, I got one chance to live this thing and I'm going to do my very best to live it free. And I'm so grateful that I was introduced to OPTAVIA when I was, because it truly changed everything for me. So our story is we are a part of a phenomenal company. Our company has been a part of Forbes magazine's most trusted companies. Our founder, Dr. Wayne Anderson, who is medical director for OPTAVIA and has really been instrumental in my life and teaching me so many things. And as you'll see throughout our presentation later today, has authored an amazing book and life book that will be crucial to your mission to want to get healthy. It is a phenomenal thing, but I want you to know that you are learning tonight about a company that is trustworthy. You are learning tonight about a company that really does a phenomenal job at helping people win. And it is backed by just a financially strong company, but also a credible one. And the mission is carried out by a bunch of mission-minded people called health coaches. And one of those health coaches most likely invited you to be on this call tonight. And man, we are so excited that you are on. So our mission is very simple. We want to help you create lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. And we're going to begin tonight the process of introducing just a couple of those things to you, because we know that you're on this call because you're curious about what something like this might look like for you. And you're wanting to see if this is the best fit. And honestly, we want to know that too. We want to know if this is a good fit for you. We want this to be a marriage that works, that you're someone with a need and we are someone that has an antidote or a mission or a response to the need that you have. So that's what we're about, lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. And we just so happen to live in a country where there is a health epidemic that is pretty crazy right now. 2015-16, there was an obesity rate of 39.8% in adults, and that's an 18.5% in youth. That is staggering numbers, right? The number is in middle-aged adults, 42.8%. It's just a lot. These are all coming from the Centers of Disease Control. I don't have to spend a whole lot of time convincing you that the problem, it's crazy when you look back at pictures from the 70s when people were at the beach and pictures today. And there just were a whole lot of people that were in better shape in the 70s than there were today. And I think part of that is because our food choices have gotten more convenient and convenient in quotations because they're convenient time-wise, but they're not so convenient for health decisions that it's going to do for us moving forward in the long term. So this is a major issue, and I realize that there are probably some of us that are on this call that are dealing with some of these things today. You're dealing with some health issues, you're dealing with lack of energy, and you just want to know if there's something out there that potentially can work for you. So I'm going to spend just a few minutes, and then we're going to hear some really great stories. We're going to talk a little bit about the 4 components of what make us unique and really how this can truly help you find what you're looking for. And the first is that you are going to work together with an OPTAVIA coach. Now, most likely, you have an idea of who that coach already is. They invited you to this call, right? That coach is someone that's going to be caring, knowledgeable. They're going to give you one-on-one unique support. One of the things that I tell people all the time, our clients, is that, it's impossible to compare yourself to somebody else because nobody else on the planet wants what you want. You are unique, you are different, and we are not trying to help you to run a race in comparison to someone else. I tell our clients this all the time. You are not accountable to me, you are accountable to your why, and your coach is there to help you define what that is and hold you to a place of realizing that what you want most in this world is not a temporary craving, but rather a lifestyle that can be healthy for the rest of your days. We want to help introduce a healthy lifestyle program. We want to guide toward healthy habits, and we want to learn how to provide encouragement and support along the way as you're on your journey. The next aspect, and I alluded to this before, is our habits of health. Dr. Anderson, who is our medical director and co-founder, authored an amazing new release of his original book, Habits of Health, and this is state-of-the-art, and it is fantastic. I have read through this. I've gone through the Life book. I've utilized the app, and what makes this so unique and so transformational is that this is something where we are not wanting clients to do a diet, because what we've learned, and I'm sure you've learned this at some point or another in your life, diets don't work, because the second you get off that diet, the weight seems to come back almost immediately. So our mission is to help you introduce healthy habits so that you can begin that life of transformation that you want and have those steps in place to not just short-term temporary success, but long-term permanent success by really implementing small and consistent and lasting changes. And again, this mantra that we have, which is that we want to help you introduce lifelong transformation, truly one healthy habit at a time. So you're going to get the support of a coach. You're going to get introduced to the Habits of Health system. You are going to get engaged in our amazing community. And I'm going to talk a lot about that with some of our stories in just a minute. Our community, we just participated in that. Some of you maybe were on a few minutes early. We have a call every Wednesday night for clients that we go through the Life book and we teach different habits that people can utilize in addition to the support that they're already getting from their coach. So we have local events and virtual community events like the one I just alluded to. We've got amazing video calls. We've got a nutritional support team. We've got all kinds of things that are available to you to help you. Again, you are a unique person. You have unique challenges. You have unique desires and unique wants, and we want to help you accomplish all of those things. And then lastly, we have outstanding, state-of-the-art, amazing fueling plans that will assist you to get the results that you want in a process that you are absolutely going to love. And this is what I want to know. I mean, if you're someone that really desires to be the best you and to be healthy, can you eat 6 times a day? Can you eat every 2 to 3 hours? Can you drink 64 ounces of water? This is something where these fuelings that we have lots of different programs for different people at different stages, but you're going to eat a combination of fuelings provided to you, and also a lean and green meal, which is some protein and some vegetables that we will help you to learn how to make on your own. So this is a phenomenal thing because it is a great balance of the correct amount of protein, correct amount of carbohydrates. I don't know about you. I'm not someone that normally likes to count count calories and count points and all those other things. I just want something simple. I want something duplicatable, and I want something that I don't really have to think about. And that's what I love about this. So they're amazing. There's a great balance. They're scientifically proven, and they're honestly designed to provide the right nutrition at every single stage of your life. So I want to bring on a couple of people today that are going to just share a little bit about their stories. And I mentioned this to you before. We're just people, right? We're people that are living lives. And my friend Wesley is going to come on for a second, and he's someone that has had a phenomenal transformation, and I want to have him share. And you're going to hear some people tonight that are going to be a little bit real. They might be a little bit raw. They're going to tell you a little bit about where their life was like prior to starting program, and they're going to tell you about where their life is like now. I know that Wesley had a ton of stuff going on tonight, so he's joining us, I believe, from his vehicle. But we are just so glad to have you tonight, Wesley, to just share a little bit with us about your story of transformation and how OPTAVIA has truly helped you to live the life that you're living now. Go ahead, buddy.
Hey, Corey, thanks for having me on. I hope that everybody can hear me. I just got out of church, and it's about a 30-minute drive to my house. So I had to pull over on the side of the road so I can just give you a little bit of my story tonight. And so just a little background, if you don't know me, my name's Wesley Lovins, and I'm from southeastern Kentucky. If you can't tell by my accent, everybody likes the accent. But just to tell you about myself, I'm a dad of 6. I'm a respiratory therapist. And so I did not really battle with weight growing up. When I first got married, I weighed about 145 pounds. I was pretty skinny. And so after my twins, I have twins that are 17, and after they were born, or while they were being born, I began to just beef up. I started gaining weight. I think I might have been in a 32 when I first got married, and at the end, I was in a size 44. And I always told myself every size that I went up in pants, I was like, okay, so now I'm in a 32. Now this 34, I'm not going to a 36. And then the 36 came. And then when the 38s came, I was like, I'm not going to a 40. And so it just kept climbing and climbing. And so I found myself in the worst health of my life. And so later on, about 2015, I went through a really bad divorce, and I was depressed. I did not like who I was. I was in a bad health, and I really barely could get off the couch. I'm just going to be honest. And I actually hated the view of myself. I don't know if I'm speaking to anybody that you've ever been there, but the view of myself in the mirror made me want to physically throw up. I hated who I saw. And so I finally, one day, I was scrolling through and I saw somebody's transformation story, a friend of mine, and I reached out and I was like, dude, you have to tell me what you did to lose this weight. I'm in the worst shape of my life and I need help. I really, really need help. And so he connected me to my health coach, which is John Michael Kilpatrick. I'm forever grateful for him. And you too, Corey, you've been there for me as well. And I reached out to him, and I knew in my heart that this was something that I could do. This just clicked with me. And so I started the program on September the 1st of 2017. I just celebrated a 2-year health anniversary. And so in my first week, I was like, okay, I just lost 14 pounds in a week. And then in my first month, I ended up losing 28 my first month. And so then, you know, I tried everything there was to try, and this just worked for me. And so my health coach, he asked me, you know, he's like, now people's going to be watching you melt, and they did. I sang in a fairly large church, and the congregation just watched me melt. I tell everybody I melted like a snowman in the spring. And so he said, they're going to be asking you, how did this happen? What did you do to lose this weight? And he said, you can either send them to me or you can become a health coach. And so I just knew right then and there. So in 1 month, I became a health coach. And it has totally transformed my life, not only in my health, but in my family's life, in my finances. And in 3 months, I was able to work OPTAVIA full time. So come December, I will be celebrating 2 years working OPTAVIA full time. And so what a blessing it has been in my life. And I do have to throw this in here. I told you I'd went through a divorce. And so I had this little client that reached out to me for wanting to start the health program. And so she started. And I started noticing that there was a little something more there than just a health coach. And so I just had my 1-year anniversary. I also met the love of my life through OPTAVIA. So it has really, really changed my life. We've been able to travel. We've been able to do things. And I'm totally present for my family. And I get to work this business with my wife. And God has just been so good to us. And I'm so thankful for the gift of OPTAVIA. And that's pretty much my story in a nutshell. And I will just hand it back over to Mr. Corey Baker.
Thanks, Wesley. We say this a lot, and we just want everybody to know, it's great that you get to see these stories. Everybody's results are different. We certainly don't make any promises that everyone's going to lose weight at the same rate. And we certainly don't guarantee that you're going to meet a spouse when you come on program either. But there are, this is what I was saying before, that what our desire for you is to focus intently on who you're trying to become, and to stop looking at what everybody else is doing and the rate at which they're going, and just become fanatical about accomplishing the dream that you have. And I love Wesley. I love your story. You're very disarming. And I hope that was something that was very relatable. Maybe there's some of you that have gone through some different difficulties in that. Maybe you've went through some relational things, and maybe those things have caused you to implement some bad habits. But I just want you to know that if you're someone that has dealt with challenges and stress in your life, and that has shown up in your health and in your waistline, that we truly believe that this is something that really can help you. Wesley was talking quite a bit about becoming a coach, and what that looks like, and why he chose to pay it forward, and what that has done for him, and how he had a job that really wasn't that fulfilling to him, and what that was able to do. We offered the what we call the trilogy of optimal health, which is we want to help you become healthy in your mind. That's a very important thing. We talk a lot about that this isn't just about winning on the scale. It's winning in life, and really truly learning how to develop healthy habits that start right here, learning how to have a healthy mind, really wanting to have a healthy body, and bringing on healthy finances as well, because there's lots of people out there that just aren't at a place where they have healthy finances. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go. Next, I want to ask my good friend Lindsey to share. And Lindsey is coming to us from Ohio. She has a fantastic story. I love hearing her share. She's someone that is very real in what she shares, and I think this is something that you are going to relate very, very well to. And she's new to this. This is something where Lindsey, she's a brand new coach. I mean, not even 2 months into coaching, but she's also fairly new in the program as well. And I thought that this would be a great opportunity for you to hear from her. So Lindsey, why don't you go ahead and share with us tonight?
Okay, I'm unmuted. Do you hear me?
Gotcha.
Okay. First, I could listen to Wesley talk all night. I could listen to his accent all night long. Just had to say that. So my name's Lindsey, and I guess I want to start by telling you a little bit about myself. You see the pictures up on Corey's screen. That picture on the right is my world. Those are my people. So you know that I'm a mom. My life before being a mom my health was great. It was nothing I ever had to work at. I was trim and fit and could do anything I wanted to do. And my story goes a lot like a lot of moms' stories. As I had children, it became harder and harder to. I'm going to move my phone. I just saw in the chat that somebody can't hear me. Can you hear me better now?
You're fine. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, technical difficulties. As I had children, I gained weight with each pregnancy, and it was okay, right? It was a good trade-off. I had babies, so I was okay with gaining weight. And as time went on, the weight wasn't coming off as quickly with each pregnancy. And my third pregnancy, after I had our youngest that was in that picture, I had a pretty serious depression, and I wasn't feeling good on the inside. So I wasn't feeling good on the outside. But then, because I wasn't taking care of myself, I didn't feel good. So it just kept escalating. And then when our youngest was 3 years old, about 5 years ago, we had a miscarriage. So we lost our fourth child, and that kind of spiraled my depression. I'm seeing lots of can't hear me's.
Hey, don't worry about it. It's fine. Go for it.
Okay. So I went into a really severe depression after our miscarriage, and I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't taking care of my kids. I wasn't taking care of anything. And I used the excuse that it was okay because I was a mom, because I was putting my kids first. So it was okay to not take care of myself. After that miscarriage, I tried a bunch of different things to lose weight, and everything I tried, I just felt more hopeless every time. And I watched my coach online for a couple months, and I, like, silently, I didn't say anything. I had some conversations with my husband, but I didn't say anything to my coach. And finally, after watching for a couple months, I thought, I think there's something different about what they're doing. And so I reached out and I talked to Julie Baker, Corey's wife, and she talked and I listened. And the more I listened to her, the more hope I felt. And it had been a long time since I had felt hope that I could actually change something about my health. I have a family history of obesity, and I thought it just wasn't in the cards for me to be trim anymore. I thought my body had changed after those 4 pregnancies, and there just wasn't anything I could do to get it back. And so after that conversation and starting on plan, I still was skeptical. I thought, well, this works for other people, but it's probably not going to work for me. And the first week I saw some improvement, the next week some more, and the next week some more. And every week I was just more and more convinced that this could work for me and it could work for other people. And I felt a weight lifted as I was losing weight. And I know that sounds cliche, but it literally, I started to get my life back. I don't know if you still see those before and after pictures on the screen. But the picture of me in my before picture was my daughter's birthday, right? It's supposed to be a really fun day. But I remember that day crying, trying to find an outfit to look cute in, because I knew that I would see a lot of people. I would see her friends and her friends' parents and all of her family that was coming to this birthday party. And I'd be the mom that was doing all the things. So I remember crying that day because I couldn't find anything that looked cute. And there are very few pictures of me because I'm also a hobby photographer. And so I'm always behind the camera. And I remember setting down my camera that day so that I could light her candles. And my husband picked up my camera and took that picture. I was mad when I saw it, but now I'm so thankful to have that memory to look back on and remember how it felt that day, because I very clearly feel that day. So here's the thing, like, I knew all the right things to do, and my husband's a doctor. Like, I knew the things to do to be healthy. I didn't know how to do the things to do to be healthy. I remember telling my doctor when she told me that my cholesterol was getting high, I remember telling her, if somebody would tell me exactly what to eat, I would do it. And that's what I found when I started this journey. I have coaches who are literally in my corner. Every time I talk to them, they're encouraging me and they're celebrating me. And I have a community of people who are cheering me on because they want to see me win as much as I want to see them win. And I have a plan where it tells me exactly what to eat. So I have the tools to get what I want to get. One of my favorite quotes, and I'll end with this, one of my favorite quotes is, discipline is remembering what you want. I knew what I wanted. I didn't know how to do it. So discipline is remembering what you want, but you also have to have the tools. And this program gave me those tools, and I feel so much hope now. I'm still in my weight loss journey. I'm down 30 pounds, but I'm still going and creating new goals for myself and loving every step of it.
Lindsey, that was fantastic. Thank you so much for your willingness to share with us tonight. And I know, because I saw the chat blowing up with a whole bunch of comments, that was something that helped a whole lot of people. And what I love about our program is that we are just a group of people that are just like everybody else. And we want to introduce you to something that works. We want to help you accomplish both of those things, which is we want to help you to have the discipline to learn what it is that you want to create. But then also put the right tool in your hand. Lindsey has become a coach, and you've heard Wesley talk about this. There's a lot of amazing benefits to becoming a coach. One of the best ones is that it's really the best choice to reinforce your own decision to be healthy. Lindsey has had amazing results. She's found something that works. So she decided to pay it forward and make a difference, and has found that it's become fun and rewarding. And you heard Wesley talk about this, amazing compensation and the opportunity to leave a legacy. We've got one more story that I want you to hear tonight. And this guy has been a part of our client base and a coach for several years. And to say that life has happened to him is an understatement. But I want Charlie to come and share just for a few minutes about his journey and how he has found hope. And I think you'll find this is something that is encouraging to you. Charlie?
Hey, Corey, man, it's great to be on the call with you guys. And Lindsey, I'm just so proud of you and your journey. And way to go. I mean, way to go. And Wesley, what an amazing story. And you found love in the program. That's pretty awesome. I joined the program under Corey about 5 years ago. And you can see in the picture there, in the one where I look like I'm pregnant, I was over 200 pounds and had failed 2 physicals. And I remember my doctor in the second physical, I'm in the Dallas area, I went and got a full body scan. My wife at that time was a cancer patient, and I just didn't know, we were trying to keep her alive, and I'm trying to stay healthy as well. And so I went and got a full body scan, and the doctor said, listen, he said, you don't have anything wrong with you yet, but he said, you're probably 24 months away from becoming a permanent type 2 diabetic. You will have a heart attack or stroke in the next 5 years. And he said, and it'll probably be debilitating at the size that you're at and with what's going on in your body and your blood. And so I walked out of there, and I just remember getting in my car praying. And this is what he said. He said, you need to lose 15 pounds in the next 6 months. And I was like, God, I've been trying to lose 15 pounds for the last 15 months, and I can't lose anything. And a friend of a friend, Corey Baker, popped up in my news feed and was talking about weight loss and fat burn. And I just thought to myself, well, he's a liar. There's no way. And but I just kept stalking him. And then I finally reached out to him. And Corey was instrumental in helping me get back up on my health journey. Now, earlier we were asked, I think it was by David, to type in one word that this program or what coaching is to us. I typed in the word encouragement. I lost my weight and I kept it off pretty well, and I started coaching. But about 6 months after that, my wife got really sick. She was battling ovarian cancer, stage 3C, when she was diagnosed. And then what happened was it just went from bad to worse. And we were running out of treatment options. We were scrambling for any type of solution. And eventually it turned out that, she would go on to heaven, and I would be left, with my kids, my daughter, my sons, and we would just be moving forward. And I just remember how important health was. What was great about this? Well, let me say this. What was great in the journey was that there were a lot of times that, Corey and Dan Valentine and a few others would just reach out to me, Eric, not to see how I was doing on my health, but just to see how I was doing in my life. And, it was a pretty heavy journey. And so rebounding back from that took some time. It's one of those things where you want to, and you try with all your best, but you just don't have enough want to. And I think my story is you start strong, and then life happens and you just get knocked flat on your butt. And then you're just sort of dragged along by life. And then after my wife passed 18 months later, I'm just sitting here trying to figure out how do you come back from this? And I just knew I needed to start with my health. And so I just reached back out to Corey, and he'd been reaching out to me. There were times he would text me. I just wouldn't even text back because I didn't even know what to say. I didn't know how to respond. We're human beings, and sometimes life just really sometimes can just be a lot. And, but Corey, I appreciate the fact that you were just there, and other coaches came alongside. People just reached out, and you just little by little, you start picking yourself back up. And so now, just like Wesley, I've got a pretty cool story. My fiance, we get married in October, and she's an amazing girl. But I told her, I said, if you're going to marry me, you got to understand OPTAVIA, because this is just not a weight loss plan. This is a life plan for me. And I want to help other people get healthy. You just have to think through it and say, you know what? There's hope on the other side of all in. And if you will just get all in on this, you'd be surprised what will happen. Some of you right now, you may be wondering, how do you turn your life around? Some of you may you feel like you've sort of been knocked down and drug around. I want to tell you, you know what? There are those moments in life like that. But this is not just a plan. This is a family, and it's a community. And so I just want to encourage you in the last few moments here, just jump in. And for those of you that you started and you lost a little bit and you've plateaued, maybe got a little discouraged, it's okay. I've been plateaued for about 2 weeks right now, just over 5 or 6 pounds, but I stay on the plan. And tomorrow, I'm pretty confident as I stay on the plan, I'm moving towards the right outcome. I'm already down another 15 pounds. I got 12 left, and I should knock that out pretty quick. But the whole goal is not where I'm at. It's not where anybody else is at. It's where you're at. What can you do to improve your life? It's simple. It's systematic. It's a community, man, because we're cheering you on together. I just want to encourage you. OPTAVIA was with me in my worst moments, and OPTAVIA is helping me build some of my best moments. And I'm just thankful for Corey. Corey, I'm thankful for you and your team and everybody that's reached out to us. And we're on our way back. And so our goal is just to build a a strong business, not just any business, but we want to help other people. And OPTAVIA is part of our life mission. So thanks for letting me tell my story. I appreciate y'all. Thanks, Corey.
I love that. Just a couple things, and I feel like these stories did a whole lot better job of explaining this than I can. Again, we are not here to come across as perfect people. We are imperfect people that have tech issues and crazy stories and crazy life. We have insecurities. We are people that deal with loss. We're people that deal with stress. We're people that have oh crud moments. And I love what Charlie said there in the end, that we are going to be people that if bad days happen, we are going to walk with you through them, and we are going to help you to learn how to understand that your best days, and I really believe that if I could, I wish that I could have a moment to look into the eyes of every person on the other end of a screen from all 50 states of our country and around the world to tell you that the best days of your life are ahead of you and not behind you.
It's true.
You are moving forward into what are amazing, amazing days for you. And so we just encourage you tonight, if these stories were something that encouraged you, if you want to give it a try, listen, Charlie mentioned it, go all in, take a risk, take a chance, and decide to give that coach a call and say, hey, let's look at seeing what this would do for me moving forward. And again, we want to help you to know that your mission is not to have the results that somebody else has. It's not to have a competition for who can lose weight the fastest. That's not what we're about. We are about helping you reach the finish line, understanding that the view from the top when you get there is going to be amazing no matter how long it takes. And one thing we can assure you is that no matter how long it takes, we are going to be with you. Your coach is going to be with you. The community, the opportunities, the support, it is with you. So guys, thank you for listening. I hope this was helpful to you tonight. And have a conversation with the person that invited you, and take a chance. I think you're definitely going to enjoy it. Have a good night, everybody.
This audio may have contained the personal testimonials of some OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.